How are we doing, VC? Hope everyone is good. Hope you're all well. Mr. Boulder here. Um, got some cool stuff that I've picked up recently. A lot of it's just arrived today, so I'm going to do a collection video next week. So today I'm going to go back to the beginning and do some more really good debut albums, or amazing debut albums, I should say. Cheers for everyone who watched last week. Thanks to all the new subscribers. If you're enjoying the videos, yeah, please subscribe and check out more future videos. So yeah, going to go back to some amazing debuts. Going to mix up these genres as always. And first today, I'm going to start off with a band that everybody knows. Even if you don't like them, you know who they are because they're that popular. Incredibly commercial these days. I don't really care for anything they put out in the last 20 years. But the first two albums are great, and especially this debut album. It's the first album by Foo Fighters. Yeah, you'll know who these guys are, even if you don't like them. Yeah, this came out in 1995. It was the first thing that Dave Grohl did after Nirvana disbanded. After what happened to Kurt Cobain, of course. I don't think anyone was expecting the nerdy-looking guy at the back of the drum kit Nirvana to be what he is now. An absolute superstar. Like I say, not a fan of a lot of the recent output. A song here or there that I like, but on the whole, not fussed at all. But this debut from '95 is absolutely amazing. A really good alternative rock record. Yeah, if you hear what you hear on the radio and you think, nah, not interested, give this a try because it's quite a bit more raw actually. If my memory is correct, Grohl did everything on this album. He played the drums, all the guitars, all the bass, probably wrote the lyrics, and obviously he sang on it. It's an absolutely great album. I got this when it came out back in '95 on cassette, and it's brilliant. It's really really good. Yeah, if you're only looking at grabbing one Foo's album, get this one because it's easily the best. Great stuff on there. It's got my favourite Foo song on it. I'll stick around. But you got This Is a Cool on here. Easy Me. No, sorry, Big Me. For All the Cows. Watershed, Floaty, Weenie Beanie. This is a really good album. If you like I say, if you're going to think about dipping your toes in, this is the only one you really need, I think. And the follow-up, Colour and Shape from 1997, it's also very good. But yeah, that's the first one today. The very first Foo Fighters album from 1995. This is a reissue, picked up a few years ago, and yeah, good stuff. Well worth checking out. But don't worry too much about checking out some of the most recent stuff because it's not all that. Up next is an album that should be in every good debut album list. Killer thrash debut. If you're into your thrash, you know this album. It's absolutely essential. Picked this up a few years ago. This is a High Roller Records reissue. Exodus is Bonded by Blood. Yeah, brilliant. Didn't get it till maybe about 10 years ago, maybe a bit longer, 15 on a CD. Heard a lot about it and completely lived up to the hype. Absolutely killer album. Really, really good stuff. Rick Hunolt and Gary Holt on guitars. Great pairing them. Tom Hunting on drums. Fantastic drummer. Who's still really, really got it now. This obviously has Paul Bailoff on vocals. Never the biggest fan of his vocals. I mean, I enjoy him, but for me, I'm much more of a Zetro guy when it comes to Exodus. But this is killer. I think this came out in '85. I think it was actually recorded for like a year before it was actually released, and for some reason it was delayed for a long time. And a lot of people say it would have had more of an impact if it would have come out a year earlier. But this is a killer album. Absolutely essential to any thrash metal collection. You've probably all got it. If you haven't, then you need to go and grab it. It's really, really good stuff. Yeah, the title track's fantastic. Exodus, and then they went on Less Than Violence, Metal Command. That side A is absolutely packed with classic songs. And then Piranha, No Love, Deliver Us to Evil, Strike of the Beast. Every song is absolutely amazing. A lot of albums have a reputation of being fantastic, and sometimes they don't always quite live up to the reputation. Not the case here. This is absolutely killer stuff. Exodus, one of those bands that never really put out a bad album. I think the only album they did I'm really not massively keen on is 1992's Force of Habit, which is where I think they were probably going for a bit of a black album type of vibe, like a lot of the thrash bands were back in the day. But this debut from '85, absolutely killer stuff. You need this in your collection. It is absolutely essential. Exodus very, very rarely let you down, and they really hit the ground running with this debut. Awesome stuff. Check it out if you haven't got it for some reason. Some hair metal now. This is a band that I didn't really get into until about 2000. This is absolutely brilliant. Blew me away when I first heard it, and still blows me away now. It's an absolutely killer album. Great band. The lead singer was discovered by John Bon Jovi, singing in a bar back in the day. The singer's Tom Kiefer, so obviously the band is Cinderella. This is Night Songs from 1986. Excellent stuff. There's only one song here that slightly lets it down, but other than that, it's an absolutely killer album. One of the best debuts from any of the glam metal bands, as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Yeah, Tom Kiefer on vocals, Jeff LaBar on lead guitar, Eric Brittenham on bass, and Fred Corey on drums. I don't think he actually plays on this though. I think someone else actually plays on it. But a killer album. If you love your glam metal, you need this. It's so good. The only song that, lets it down a bit is Nobody's Fool. You know, glam metal bands back in the day were popping out power ballads left, right and centre, and some were much, much better than others. And this is one of the weaker ones. It's still okay, but if I'm listening to the CD, sometimes I skip Nobody's Fool because as far as the power ballads go, not one of the better ones. But it kicks off with the title track, and then the second track, Shake Me, is one of my favourite glam metal songs. If I'm ever putting together a playlist on my iPod or on my phone, that is always on there. Such good stuff. And some of the deeper cuts on this, for me, is some of the best stuff. Like the last track on side one, Once Around the Ride. It's one of my favourite songs on the album. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Great guitar riffs. And the same goes for Push Push on side B towards the end. Just an album track, but one of the best as far as I'm concerned. It's absolutely killer. Great stuff. And there's more good stuff on it too. Yeah, Hell on Wheels. Somebody saved me. In from the outside. Back home again. Essential glam metal, an absolutely outstanding debut. One of the best debuts from the era for me. If you haven't got it, you need to get it. It's really, really good stuff. So that's Cinderella's Night Songs from 1986. Now for something a bit more extreme. Another one of those bands that I wish not so much the band, but an album that I wish I was more aware of when it first came out. This came out in 1989, so I was only 12 years old. So I wasn't into death metal until sort of the mid-90s, about 95 when I turned 18. But everyone knows this band if you're into death metal. So I did my homework, picked it up, and another album that lives up to the reputation. From Florida in the United States, Morbid Angel, Always a Madness. Killer stuff. Great lineup these guys had back in the day. Richard Brunel, who obviously passed away not long ago, rest in peace. David Vincent on bass and vocals. Trey, and I'm not going to butcher his surname, on our lead guitars. Pete Sandoval on drums. Trey's often been described as like sort of a death metal, sort of Eddie Van Halen, with what an amazing guitar player he is. Pete Sandoval's drumming on this, outstanding. David Vincent sounds fantastic as well. Killer songs, Chapel of Ghouls, Immortal Rights. Maze of Torment, Evil Spells, stuff like that. It's great. Very lucky to have an original press here. Picked this up a few years ago. This has been reissued tons, so it's not hard to get hold of. Originals, not so easy to get hold of, but there's plenty of copies out there. Again, if you're not really listening to a lot of death metal, definitely one of the bands to give a go. One of the originators alongside Death. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, Suffocation, Visions from the Dark Side, Bleed for the Devil, Damnation, Blasphemy. Every song's killer. Every song is absolutely fantastic. A killer debut album from Morbid Angel. Not my favourite Morbid Angel album. That would be 1995's Domination as for me. But yeah, absolutely killer stuff. A great debut. If you haven't heard it, check it out. I'm going to finish now with an album that I think it's either today or yesterday is 40 years old. And the guy who played drums on it, Lee Kerslake, passed away just a couple of days ago. So rest in peace, Lee. You probably know what I'm talking about. Ozzy Osbourne's Wizard of Oz from 1980. Obviously the first thing Oz did after he got the boot from Sabbath the year before. This is a fantastic album. Obviously this has also got the very late great Randy Rhoads on it as well. Amazing guitar player. As far as guitar players go, everyone knows who he is. And such a shame he died so young. You know, he had a lot more to give. Did this and Diary of a Madman. He did some stuff with Quite Right as well that he was a member of before Ozzy's band. A little bit harder to get hold of. I haven't got it myself. If anyone has, let me know what it's like and I'll go and check it out. But yeah, Ozzy's first solo outing from 1980, and this is really, really good stuff. I'm not going to talk about Crazy Train because everyone knows that bloody song. Again, some of the deeper cuts are some of my favourites. Kicks off with I Don't Know, which is fantastic. Really, really good. You got to Goodbye to Romance on there as well. I'm not so fussed about that. But there's other stuff on here like No-Bo Movies and Suicide Solution. Great, great songs. Absolutely love it. Yeah, if you haven't got this, I'm sure you have. It's absolutely fantastic. Such good stuff. To think that he did this only a year after getting booted out of Sabbath is amazing, you know. Put a really good band together. Wrote some really good songs and just totally reinvented himself. And he was back with a bang in no time. And then he followed this up only a year later with the fantastic Diary of a Madman, which might even be a bit better than this. But Ozzy's Blizzard of Oz, absolutely essential, old school heavy metal. Everything about it's great. Great catchy songs. Great guitar from Randy, of course. And just essential to any good heavy metal record collection. If you don't have it, I'm sure you have. Make sure you grab it because it's absolutely essential. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Get in touch, leave a comment, let me know what you think. What do you think of these albums? Anything else I should check out from these bands that I might not have? I mean, I've got a lot of it, but always happy for suggestions. Alright guys, I will see you again next week. I'll have a collection update for you. But until then, I'll catch you next time. You guys take care of yourselves. See you later. Goodbye.